I love sports.
Sports.
This is the Sports Page with Mitchell Williams on 97.3 and 99.3 SuperTalk, Mississippi.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to SuperTalk, Mississippi. SuperTalk Hattiesburg.com, 97.3, SuperTalk Laurel.com, 99.3. It is the Sports Page. It's a community sports radio program that we had here every Monday during drive time here on SuperTalk. You can listen to us online, as we said, on SuperTalkHattiesburg.com, SuperTalkLaurel.com, and you can listen to us if you're driving or if you're at your business or if you're at your home as well. Thank you for listening to SuperTalk Mississippi. To everyone listening to us on 99.3, which is Laurel and north of Laurel, thank you. And everybody listening to us on 97.3 Hattiesburg and south of Hattiesburg, east to west, as far as Columbia and the other side of Waynesboro, simulcast on both 99.3 and 97.3. So hope you and yours are well as we approach now 9 days away from Christmas. Really shortly, it's going to be just 8, and it's been cold, and hope everyone in your family is doing really, really well. It's going to be cold again tonight. It was, 20-something last night around here, and it may be close to that or that this evening. So please take care and look for all the things that need to be covered and all the loved ones and things, and just get as much information as you can about tonight. And if we can get by tonight, I think it's going to warm up in just a little bit. Speaking in just a little bit, we had a weekend, y'all. We want to thank the Mississippi Association of Coaches, Coach Johnny Mims, along with the Mississippi High School Activities Association, the Alabama Association of Coaches, and the Alabama High School Activities Association, as FCA was a huge part in a big Mississippi-Alabama All-Star Weekend. The annual Mississippi-Alabama All-Star Game was played in Hattiesburg this year. It alternates between Hattiesburg, either Mobile or Montgomery, and it was really, really good. The game wasn't so good. Alabama beat Mississippi pretty handily. But we had an awesome time. Had a lot of young men give their life to the Lord during a faith night at Temple Baptist Church on Thursday. I want to thank all the folks at Camp Shelby that housed all the boys and the coaches. And then on Friday, of course, we had the pre-game banquet where we had all the players and the coaches and all the parents and a lot of the folks around the city and the county who helped sponsor the game. And then our FCA breakfast we have for all the teams and their coaches. Coach Tony Hughes, the former Jackson State head coach, the former Mississippi State assistant head coach, former Ole Miss assistant, former USM assistant football coach, former community college coach at Hines, former high school coach. Tony's coached over 40 years. He's a pastor, him and his wife, Miss Marion, over Wayside Temple, which is right off Edward Street. And he saw the earth, incredible man of God, and he spoke to them on Saturday morning, their last high school game. And, man, he talked to them about giving their gift to the Lord. It's awesome. We're going to see if we can get Tony over here maybe one Monday night, and we'll talk about some stuff. So that was all this coming weekend. And so we had all of this weekend. And then also what happened today, y'all, Southern Mississippi officially introduced their new head football coach, Coach Blake Anderson. And he had a big news conference today. He met everybody about 1:30, and then he had a news conference and answered the media right after. We got some sound from that. Let's listen to the new head football coach at Southern Mississippi. First voice you will hear will be the athletic director, Jeremy McClain.
Jeremy McClain, our director of athletics, and we'll get one from Blake, and then we'll open up for questions.
Yes, sir. First of all, I appreciate you guys being here. I know it's chilly outside, and many of you traveled several hours to be here. So thank you guys. Greatly appreciate what you do for us, not only today, but throughout the year. Today's a big day for us. Really excited to get an opportunity to introduce Blake as our new head coach. It's been, I mentioned in the press conference, we certainly had an open search, a full search, and engaged several people. even maybe to Blake's dismay. But jokingly, we ended up in a good place. And I think it was really helpful this year to see Blake work, to see him in the building, to see him around our people, to see him around our players. That was a unique perspective that certainly helped us when we got into this search, and felt like we had a really qualified person in the building. But that look behind the curtain to see who he is and how he works was, I really think, really helpful to us. So again, thank you guys for being here. Really, I think, important day for our program, and excited to leave here and hit the gas pedal and help Blake and staff get done what they need to get done.
Obviously excited for the day. The turnout was overwhelming. I really didn't expect that. I appreciate everybody that came out. You guys, thanks for coming too. Just as I said, I'm really grateful for the opportunity and so many people that made it happen. Excited to get rolling. I know we got a big challenge. We got a big challenge ahead of us. This is you don't typically have turnarounds this quickly. I've kind of been part of this before, but the dynamic in college football is much different now. So it's going to be very, very important that we don't waste any opportunity to try to eliminate just create any more issues than we possibly can. Eliminate any of the hard part that comes from just the nature of college football today. Try to find a way to go win a bowl game and finish with it on a good note with this group, who I think have done an amazing job. Find a way to get to number 8, and then go on into the offseason and figure out what holes we got to fill, what we need to do to be as competitive as we can be next year. And that's the focus. As soon as we walk out those doors, it's on. It's time to hustle, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So.
If you would raise your hand, if you'll identify yourself so we'll know who you're talking to. And so we'll go start right there.
David Mix on the Pine Belt News. Jeremy, obviously last season when we were sitting here, you didn't expect to be doing this a year later, but as the season started progressing, did you start preparing for the possibility of Huff leaving? And then when he left, was some of the things in place to start the searching process already?
Yeah, certainly. To your point, I think we knew when we hired Charles that if we had success, there were going to be an opportunity for him, maybe one that he couldn't pass up, because he had success at a couple different stops. And so we knew throughout the year that that was a possibility. I think it certainly was, as we were successful, we understood that. As the cycle began to happen and there were so many jobs that came open, there was so much turnover, we began to kind of ramp that up and be prepared. I just felt like the nature of that is you're going to be at the end of the cycle. And so that's where we found ourselves. And so we had to be prepared to move and work quickly. For all the reasons Blake kind of hit on today is, there's, even though the portal's not open, there's these things that have to happen in your building from a retention standpoint. And so yeah, we were ready to roll and hit the ground running. And that started, obviously, long before Sunday got here. We kind of had a plan of action and had our search firm on standby. And we're able to just kind of hit the ground running and get it done really in a very short kind of three-day period or so.
$1 247 Sports. Blake, Jeremy alluded to a 3-hour visit you guys had to go to. You laid out your vision for Southern Miss football. Could you kind of elaborate a little more on that?
I talked about a lot of that stuff in here. Just we want to build off the things we did well this year. I think the culture changed from what it was before. I felt like that we just had a 365-day plan of what we wanted to do, how we wanted to handle nutrition, what we wanted to happen in the weight room, what we were going to do schematically on both sides, how we attacked recruiting. I thought Coach Huff had an amazing plan. A lot of that is very similar to what I've done in the past and want to continue that. Just told them I want to be me. I want to be transparent and open, try to hire great people and come in here and recruit at a high level, hold them accountable, and put a good product on the field. So we talk about a ton of different things, but really when you get back to it, putting a very selfless, tough, accountable, very fast physical football team on the field and all the things that are involved, nutrition, off-season, recruiting, and how we treat the kids. So they asked some great questions. I felt like we were prepared for all of them, had some good dialogue back and forth. And I felt like leaving the room that we were all on the same page. I didn't know where it was going to go from there, but I felt like we all want the same thing.
Coach Blake Anderson, the new head football coach at the University of Southern Mississippi, and we may hear a little bit more about him before. So I don't want to let the first segment go and finish up before thanking some folks from the Hattiesburg Police Department and the Victims Unit. Today, y'all, we had our 9th annual Hattiesburg Victims Unit and FCA Christmas party for families affected by violent crime in the city of Hattiesburg in 2025, y'all. It was heartbreaking. Somber, but the Lord blessed the day, y'all. We had a great meal, and then after that, we were able to share the Christmas story, and then Christmas carols, and then they went to the tree and saw Santa Claus, and man, the stories of what their Christmas is going to be. In fact, one grandmother said, "Y'all, we just had to cancel Christmas because of all what we went through." My goodness, I want to thank Chief Hardy Sims of the Hattiesburg Police Department, Grace Temple Church, Pastor Dwayne, and they got a gift for every police officer today, y'all. Coach Charles and Miss Jessica Huff, C-Spire, Walmart, Southern Miss Football, Artus Catering, and several others who helped make today's event a most memorable one. We had a special time, always the third Monday in December. When we come back, we'll talk about what's going on the campus of Jones when the sports page continues in just a moment.
This is the Sports Page with Mitchell Williams on 97.3 and 99.3 SuperTalk, Mississippi.
Hey, welcome back to Super Talk, Mississippi. Merry Christmas to everyone. Hope you and yours are doing just right, y'all. We got about 9 days, really technically 8, once we go to sleep tonight. So it's getting there really, really quick. Also know that, y'all, the New Orleans Bowl is on December the 23rd in New Orleans. It's going to be good. It's inside, and it's 2 days for Christmas, and it's up the road. And you want to get a ticket. They're very, very, very let's say manageable, yeah, and maybe a great time to go take somebody inside to see a bowl game and have a good time in New Orleans. You want more information, go to southernmiss.com. All right, my goodness, what a day, what a day, what a day. With us right now, y'all, is the Sports Information Director at Jones College, our good friend Sean Wansley. And Sean, I don't know about you, man, the older you get, seems like the days go quicker and quicker. What you think?
Oh, there ain't no doubt. We talk about it every summer when we get ready for football season and how fast football goes by. And here we are. We're at the end of the year, and football winding up, and we'll do the same thing again next year. But the older you get, the faster it goes. I certainly agree with that.
My goodness. So, Sean, tell us a little bit, man, what's happening on the campus of Jones. I guess we're in between, so to speak, I guess school-wise, but still some folks are playing a little ball, aren't they?
Yeah, we are in between semesters, as you say. We ended up last Thursday with our final exams of the fall semester. School is closed down until January the 5th, and classes for the spring semester will not start until January the 12th. So, we're definitely in between everything. Basketball, we had some games last week. Our women's team doing a great job. Trista McGee-Whitman in our first year. Jones is doing quite well. They had 2 big wins last week. They beat Wallace State Selma 107-48, and then they went to East Mississippi. Had a big lead in that game, like a 51-21 in the third quarter, I believe, but had to hang on and win 69-60. But those 2 wins give Coach Whitman's team an 11-1 record going into the break. A very good start for our women's basketball team. They will not play again until January the 8th when they go to LSU Eunice, and they will open conference play on January the 12th against Hines. Our men's team, they had a tough week last week. Coach Newton Mealer's team, they actually went 0-3, but all three losses were against outstanding teams. They talk about the last 2 games they played. They went down to Panama City Beach and played a couple of games against 2 top 6 teams in the nation. They lost to Northwest Florida, a perennial power in men's JUCO basketball. Jones lost 72-62, and then the next night, Jones played Gulf Coast State, a team out of Florida, and lost 101-81. We played those guys twice in about 3 weeks. We played them earlier in the year, also in Florida, so a couple of losses there. And then last Monday night, Jones hosted Mississippi Gulf Coast, and the final score was Gulf Coast 116, Jones 114, and double overtime.
My goodness.
Yeah, it's one of the best games. Unfortunately, we lost, but it's one of the best JUCO basketball games I've seen in a long, long time. There were 28 lead changes. I think we were tied 23 times. Neither team led by more than 6 points. I think Jones, we actually led by 6 points in the second overtime and couldn't hang on. I think there were a couple of free throws that put us ahead late, but they managed to tie. And then I think at the end of regulation, we were up 89-86, and their guy, I don't want to say he flopped, but I think he did on a long three-pointer and he fell to the court, and they awarded the guy 3 free throws, and he made all 3, and that sent us into that first overtime, and Gulf Coast ended up winning the game. The game was tied 114 all, and just, I believe, about 5 seconds to go, and unfortunately, one of our guys thought we were behind by a point or two, and he actually grabbed a Gulf Coast player coming over midcourt, and obviously had to call a foul, and Gulf Coast hit 2 free throws to go ahead, 116-114, and we got the ball back, threw it in bounds. We got a great look at the other end, and Jay Tyler, who's an outstanding player for our team, he had a great look, tough layup, but the ball did not go in, and ended up losing that game 116-114. So our Jones men, we're now 10-5 on the year, and we will play on January the 5th, the first day school reopens. We will host Southern University Shreveport, and then the following Monday, January the 12th, that's when conference play starts all across the MACCC. We will host Hines that night. And I think Hines, Gulf Coast beat us. I think Hines beat Gulf Coast a couple of nights later. So that's going to be a pretty good game, pretty good challenge for our team coming back after the break.
Y'all are listening to Sean Wansley, Sports Information Director at Jones College, and he's been talking hoops, y'all. And y'all, as we go through, and with this just a few days before Christmas, and then we have a few days after Christmas, and he's talking about when basketball will start. But soon, even in the month of January, they'll finish. I guess you'll have a few weeks in January, and then you're playing baseball and softball, right?
Yeah, baseball and softball. Those teams get back and they jump right into it, especially baseball. Our first baseball doubleheader is scheduled for January the 28th. Coach West Stephen's team goes to Coastal Alabama North in January to open the season, and then they turn around and host East Central. East Central is a very good team every year, and we host them on February the 2nd. I believe that's a Monday. And Coach Torrey Dew, softball, are going to be good again this year. They open the season. They host Bishop State on February the 2nd. It just doesn't slow down. They kind of expanded the season a couple of years ago, added more games to the schedule, and now we're getting started, late January. So when those teams come back to school in early January, just only have a couple of weeks to get ready and go start the regular season. You can mention golf. Coach Bob Harrington's team, they open February the 9th and 10th down at Diamond Head, tournament hosted by Pearl River. So, we're down for a couple of weeks and kind of trying to relax a little bit, but we come back to January and it's going to be hot and heavy with baseball, basketball, softball, golf, and tennis. They get started late January, I believe, as well. So all those spring sports getting rolling there immediately when we come back in 2026.
My goodness. So all of these things now, and so, soon you'll have all these sports rolling, and goodness gracious, and And with all of that, folks have an opportunity to keep up. Of course, y'all know the National Signing Day. There'll be another period of time in February or so. So how do people keep up with the Bobcats and anything else you have to add Sean?
Yeah, first, I think first Wednesday of February is National Signing Day, kind of a tradition there. A couple of, I think we need to mention as far as some of our Jones guys signing with senior colleges earlier this month. William Hodges, our deep snapper, young man out of Summerall, he signed with Texas San Antonio already. Luke Stewart out of Oak Grove, our punter, he signed with East Tennessee State earlier this month. And TK Keys, our outstanding wide receiver, he signed with Troy University. That's just a few of our signees we've had to go on to a senior college, and they get ready to roll here. They'll report in January and get ready for the 2026 season. As far as folks wanting to keep up with the Bobcats, go to jcbobcats.com. We've got schedules, results, stories, rosters on there. And you can also go to X, Facebook, and YouTube and Instagram and search Jones College Athletics for everything you need to know about Bobcat Athletics.
All right, Sean. Thank you so much, man. And hopefully, man, we'll talk to you again, same time, same place next week. All right?
All right, Mitch. Sounds great. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Sean Wansley, Sports Information Director at Jones. And, he's giving us some information what's going on with a lot of the spring sports. And, of course, there is all what people are talking about, and they're talking about this, y'all.
A couple different times. So he's in a good place. He always feels like he let people down, but then he comes back.
That's Andy Reid talking about Patrick Mahomes, y'all, the best football player maybe in the NFL with a torn ACL. We'll be back with more of the Sports Page in just a moment. Y'all hang on.
This is The Sports Page with Mitchell Williams on 97.3 and 99.3 SuperTalk, Mississippi.
Let him do his deal. He's ready to go. I think this team has so much confidence in him, and I think the juice and energy that provides. The guys have a lot of confidence when he goes out there, and guys are fired up for him, and for him to make that kick, execute at that high of a level. The celebration in the locker room when you see it with Charlie and the team. This team loves that guy, so it was awesome.
Everybody on the team, we always had confidence in Charlie, man. He hitting 60, 70 yarders in practice all the time. And Charlie, man, he was ready for that moment. He's always dialed in practice. He's real hard on himself. It's just his whole journey. His whole journey, he couldn't make that many mistakes to be able to be where he is, right now. So, man, hats off to Charlie, man. He came clutch.
Yeah, I knew he was going to knock that down.
My goodness, the Saints, y'all. The Saints have won another game, yeah. The New Orleans Saints with a big win, 20-17 over the Carolina Panthers, who was leading their division. My goodness, wow. Tell you what, Christmas is a season of giving, right? Yeah. Our prayers to the family of Coach Jay Ladner, his father, Coach J. Larry Ladner, who is infamous coach, y'all. He taught me the pick and roll at the MK Turk basketball camp when I was 17 years old. He passed away this past week. He was one of our state's best high school basketball coaches, one of our best teachers that I know of in the game of basketball. And our heart just goes out to Jay and his whole family. Of course, Jay Ladner is the head basketball coach at Southern Miss, and Jay was a really good high school basketball player himself. Of course, a phenomenal, we think, coach, and just really good people. And our prayers for them as they kind of go through this time. Just know that Southern Miss basketball does open up conference play, y'all, men's and women's play on Thursday. 5 o'clock and 7:30 on Thursday night at the Coliseum. They'll open up. So go support the Golden Eagles in basketball on this coming Thursday night. Remember, no Crusader talk. William Carey is in action tonight versus Southeastern College, Bible College out of Laurel. They'll be playing them tonight over there on campus. All right. Speaking of campus, let's check out what's going on the Pearl River campus. With us is the sports information director over there, our good friend Dylan Dunaway. Hello, Dylan. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Mitchell. Thank you for having me tonight.
Man, Merry Christmas to you and yours. I know that this is the time where it's kind of the bridge time, where football is done, basketball, men and women are in flow, and then after a while, that national championship DNA baseball team starts going in softball. Give us a little bit of update on basketball right now, what's going on. I know the women are doing really, really, really exceedingly well with the new coach, Coach Williams, and just give us an update.
Yeah, we're right in the thick of things now. Obviously, the winter semester just ended for us. So a little break in the action for both our men's and women's teams. A little break in the action for myself and my staff as well. I know we'll take that. But you're right. Men's basketball, women's basketball off to really, really good starts. The men are 7-5 right now, but if you look at the teams that they have played so far, they have played some phenomenal opponents. They went on the road and played the number 7 team in the country, the number 12 team. They played a Shelton State team that was receiving votes. And they played well in a lot of these games. They're fresh off of a win on Saturday against a Southern University Shreveport team that has really, really improved immensely. They have a new coach, new leadership, and that was a really good game. We were able to pull that one out 73-60. And then you look on the women's side. I mean, Coach Shanae Williams and the job that they have done so far, it's just been phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Fletcher obviously led us and put us in a really good spot when he left us for Louisiana Monroe. And Coach Williams and them have come in, and they have kind of just kept up that same standard that the former staff had left. They're 7-3 right now. They have played just like the men's team. Most of their losses are against really good teams, and they started off the year they beat a ranked Kilgore, and then they're 7-3 right now with 2 losses out of those 3 coming against teams who are ranked in the national poll in the top 15, number 13 Shelton State and number 6 Gulf Coast State. So that just tells you the quality of opponent they're playing, the quality of basketball they're playing. Just a really, really good start to the basketball seasons for us here at Pearl River.
Y'all are listening to Dylan Dunaway, the sports information director at Pearl River Community College, and we've been talking basketball for a few minutes, and now it is that bridge time, though, and soon, Dylan, I mean, you'll have everybody playing, man. I mean, you got basketball, and then you'll have signing day some because of the football stuff that's happening over there. You got new staff folks in football that we were talking with Coach Smith about last week, and then you got baseball and softball. So what can folks expect once we make the turn into hopefully maybe the best year ever in 2026?
Yeah, when the calendar flips over, obviously, like I mentioned, basketball being in action, but I know they'll look to really pick it up in conference play. We have a couple of non-conference games early, and then you get in the meat of conference play when you're playing every game matters. You're fighting for something every single day with each of those basketball programs. But baseball and softball, they start in January now. I mean, every year it feels like it gets a little bit earlier. This year both teams will get underway late January. And if you know anything about Pearl River, you know how strong our baseball and softball are. Baseball last year, national runner-up, 53-10 on the year. It was just a special year. And then on the softball side of things, they were 36-17 and ended up right there in the regional with a chance to go to nationals. So you can expect big things from both of those programs year in and year out. They are among the best in the conference, among the best in the country. And it's just something that Coach Michael Avalon and Coach Christy Meeks have done a really, really good job with, is building programs that each year can be competitors on the national level, at the state level. It doesn't matter. They're going to compete. And we're just excited for that to kick back off. Obviously, baseball is a little hungry, even maybe a little hungrier than before after coming up just short last year. I mean, I know that's crazy to say, but coming up one game short, you're ready to get back to that level. And then softball, they just keep pushing for that national tournament bid, and I know they hope that this is the year that they can finally get that done.
My goodness. So you have that, and of course all the other sports, we learn a lot with the, playing the the E stuff and everything else that's happening over there. But I wanted you to, before we leave off, talk a little bit about that Pearl River Community College culture, Dylan. I mean, in the sense that, I hear high school coaches talking about all the time when they go to a game down there, they see kids from other teams a little bit of everywhere. And it's seemingly so that it's a culture that's not only have a lot of successful programs, but everybody wants to see everybody be successful. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, I think it's just something that's been, established for a long time. All the coaches really, really pull for each other. They're all really good friends. They just want to see each other do well, and I think that shows in the way that their teams do the same thing. If you come to a basketball game on a Thursday night in Marvin R. White Coliseum, I can assure you in the rowdiest corner of the gym is going to be our sports teams. It's going to be our baseball team, our softball team, our soccer players, and the list goes on. And they're just going to be in there giving whoever a hard time. But yeah, that's just the way it is around there. They all root for each other's success. Everybody wants to be the top dog in their respective sport, and each other, and each team is rooting for the other one to do that. So it is something special to see that no matter what facility you're at, no matter what type of event it is, that they're all there, they're all making noise, and they're all rooting for each other, just like they're playing on the team themselves.
That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Before we let you go, man, tell everybody how they can keep up with the Pearl River Wildcats and what can they expect with the turn of the new year.
Yeah, as always, you can find us on social media just about anywhere. We're on Twitter at PRCC Athletics, or I should say X now. You can find us on Instagram by the same handle, Facebook. Everything that you can look for, we've got it there. We're hoping to do some big things on the social media side of things in the new year. I think that's one of the things that we do really well with, is pushing out content and getting information out there. So, be on the lookout for some fun videos, some stuff that you can see and learn about what it's like to be a Wildcat athlete, or what it's like to be a Wildcat fan in the near future.
Dylan, thank you so much, man. If I don't talk to you before, Merry Christmas, man. I hope y'all have a blessed season, and we look forward to talking to you again soon, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mitchell.
Dylan Dunaway, the head dude as it relates to sports information, the sports information director. He's the head dude, man. Speaking of the head dude, the new head dude for Southern Miss football is Blake Anderson. The New Orleans Bowl is coming up on the 23rd of this month. He met the media today and talked about several things. And then, it was great. He met a lot of supporters earlier, and then Coach Anderson talked about several things and questions about trying to get started and recruiting and all kind of different things. So let's listen to what Coach had to say about a few things.
Surgical in terms of how we approach it, but it's going to take all three of those phases to fill a roster that allows us to compete next year.
Rick Cleveland, Mississippi today. Blake, where do you stand on a staff? Where do you stand?
Where I stand on staff? Actually, we're in pretty good shape, to be truthful. I've done this a couple times before. I always keep a short list of guys. I know who my first phone calls are. We've already secured our head strength coach, which in my opinion is the most important hire I'm going to make. And I think when he's announced, everybody will realize that we killed it in that area. Offensive coordinator has been with me for the last 11 years. He'll be here this afternoon. He's won all 3 championships with me and knows this offense as good or better than I do. I'm able to secure a couple guys that are staying, and well, I say a couple, actually more than a couple, and then filling in with a few what I think are quality guys that I've either coached against are seen grow up in the profession that add value. I think we'll have a full staff very quickly. We're just down to just a couple spots, to be truthful, and I want to be very specific about who those spots are. One of those being a defensive coordinator. I'm in the process of interviewing guys over the last few days. I mean, literally, almost from the minute they said you're the guy, I started setting up interviews, and as there's a ton of guys that want to be here, trying to be very specific about what we're going to get. But I feel strongly that we can get quality coaches here. I thought we had a great staff this year, that we can get quality coaches here again this year.
If I can follow up.
Yeah, go ahead.
What about for this game, the bowl game? How are you handling the staff?
Well, we're pretty fortunate. Everybody but Coach Huff is staying to coach the bowl game.
My goodness, everybody will be here for the bowl for the bowl game. All the staff. New Orleans Bowl on December 23rd, y'all. Come on down to New Orleans. When we come back, we'll cross the T and dot the I, and the sports page continues when we get back.
This is The Sports Page with Mitchell Williams on 97.3 and 99.3 Super Talk, Mississippi.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to Super Talk, Mississippi. My goodness, it has been real. We have been rolling, and we have gotten here pretty quick. Goodness gracious. But we're excited about the week. The New Orleans Bowl, y'all, is on December 23rd. The team is scheduled to leave this weekend, head toward that way. So it will be nationally televised, but it would be great to see all the folk that way. People love New Orleans, and just and it's just one of those places that a lot of folks go. It's only 90 minutes away. So want to again send our prayers, our earnest and sincere prayers to Coach Jay Ladner. His dad, J. Larry Ladner, passed away. Great coach, incredible coach. Taught us when we were in just a teenager about the pick and roll, which is what y'all NBA teams play with now. And he introduced that while we were at the MK Turk basketball camp when I was in high school. And I've never forgotten it. It's been now almost 4 decades, and I've not forgotten it. And I want to just say, y'all, we're thinking about you, Coach. Southern Miss basketball, men and women, will open up conference play on Thursday. Know that No Crusader Talk, Carrie is in action tonight at Clinton Gym, and so they'll be playing Southeastern tonight. And congratulations to Coach Blake Anderson. We've been playing excerpts, and can't wait to see him in the morning as we get ready to do bowl prep. And it's been good. It's been good, and there's a lot going on. I want to thank also those at Mississippi, Alabama. We had the Mississippi, Alabama All-Star football game this weekend. FCA plays a part of that. We were cited to do the invocation and the closing prayer in the pregame dinner on Friday, and then on Saturday we have our FCA breakfast that we do for the teams and their coaches, and Coach Tony Hughes spoke, and he was incredible. Of course, Tony's a former Jackson State head football coach, was an assistant at Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and at Southern Miss at one time, coach on the junior college and high school level. Him and his wife, Miss Marion, they are natives of Hattiesburg. I mean, they live here in Hattiesburg, and pastors of a local church, and just good people. Tony was awesome, talked about their gift and giving it to the Lord. And so we had that, and of course, then we had today, y'all. We had the 9th annual FCA Hattiesburg Police Department Christmas party. We had at the Johnny Dupree Police Headquarters, and it's always the third Monday of December. And y'all, it is a party held for families that are victims of violent crime in the city of Hattiesburg. Man, we had some nutty things happen to these families this year. And they will have some empty seats this Christmas. And had one grandmother said, we're just going to cancel Christmas. We can't have it. And then they got the call from the victims unit to come up, and they got a great meal, and then got some Christmas carols, and then we got to read the Christmas story from the Bible. And then after the meal, then the kids all of these beautiful children across so many y'all areas and demographics. I mean, it's just hurting babies and young babies. When I say that, between 2 and all the way up to 12 and 13, and grandmamas, and then sometimes older siblings having to take care of folks now because they lost somebody. And they go to the Christmas tree, and then they see things that were on a wish list. They didn't know if they were going to get it or not. They didn't know they were going to get anything, but the victims unit would ask them if they got a list. I want to thank some folks that just helped make a lot of this stuff happen today. And those folks include, of course, the Hattiesburg Police Department Victims Unit, Pastor Dwayne Higginson and Grace Temple Church. Of course, for the last 2 decades, they gave every police officer a Christmas gift, every one of them. Coach Charles and Miss Jessica Huff, they were incredible in terms of their benevolence, and Miss Jessica was there. C-Spire, Walmart, Southern Miss Football, Artos Catering, several others who helped make today's event a most memorable one for both everyone who were served and were loved on during this time, and those who serve and protect us night and day. We had an awesome time. And I want to thank our staff, Miss Michelle Gagliano and Chuck and Crystal Cowan for being there. Our board led by Joey Hurston and their faithful support of this event. We had an awesome time today. Got one scripture, y'all. We have this hope like a sure and firm anchor of the soul that enters the inner sanctuary behind the curtain. We have this hope like a sure and firm anchor of the soul that enters the inner sanctuary behind the curtain. That's Hebrews 6:19. If you're experiencing hard times, you'll be wise just to spend a little more time with the Lord, y'all. It may be on your knees. It might be in your car listening to worship music. It might be just walking and talking to him. If you do your part, God will do his. So never be afraid to hope or to ask for a miracle. After being with these families today, it's a different kind of Christmas, y'all. It's a somber one. And some of you out here that may be listening, you got one too. You maybe lost a loved one this year, or maybe have someone in the hospital, or hopefully not have someone that may be just in the penal system, someone that's in jail. All of us got our stuff. We got our stuff. But just know that we have this hope like a sure and firm anchor of the soul. That's Hebrews 6:19. Y'all hold on to it. All right, from all of us to all of you, we hope that you have an awesome week. This last week before we get to Christmas week, don't forget end of the year giving to your favorite ministry or to your favorite nonprofit. Make sure you don't forget about them at the end of the year. We hope to talk to you same time, same place next week, everybody. Take care. God bless.